Julie, thanks. Well, the storm that hit our area Friday evening has left many neighborhoods littered with fallen branches and trees. It's not recommended that homeowners remove the debris themselves. So where do you even start if you're looking to have the mess cleaned up? Joining us now with more insight is Forrest Bowen, a board-certified master arborist with Wood Acres tree specialist. He is live at a home in Bethesda where some work is about to begin. Good morning to you. Good to see you.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Let me just ask, how big of an issue was this storm as far as trees go? How much of a mess is out there?
It's a pretty big mess. We've had some snowstorms in the past that have caused certain trees to fall down, but specific species, this particular storm, everything's fallen down. We've got maple trees that are losing limbs. We've got whole entire trees that have fallen over, trees that have just the tops have broken out. I've been doing this for about 15 years, and I've never seen the damage that we've had for this particular storm.
Wow, that's a big statement. Okay, the question is, as we saw another home, a big old tree down on those power lines, whose responsibility is it for us to even get out there? When you look out there and you see this big tree down on a power line, should we call you or is that the city? Can you help me with that?
Well, you need to start with Pepco to make sure that power line is turned off. And once you get that turned off, it really depends on where the tree is. If it's a tree that's next to the road, sometimes it's the city's responsibility. If it's a tree in your yard that lands on the power line, sometimes it's your responsibility. So check in with your insurance companies, check with Pepco, certainly call the city. If you're in Montgomery County, call the county, and they should be able to direct you who's responsible.
Okay, you're a master arborist, board-certified Bachelor of Science degree in forest resource management. So I'm setting
That's
it up
correct.
to ask you, when do we get out there and do it ourselves? Do we ever do it, or do we always call a guy like you?
Well, it's important to call a guy like me for something like this. It's on your house. You know, you could do a lot more damage than you can do good if you tried to go up there and get it yourself. With little tiny branches on the ground, it's just brush cleanup. As long as there are no power lines around, and you know you want to go for it, I recommend it. It's a lot cheaper than having a professional come in and to get the stuff on the ground. But when a structure is involved, when there are power lines involved, you really need to have a professional, licensed, insured company come in and take care of it for you.
Very much like Wood Acres tree specialist. So let me ask you,
Correct.
How do we, anybody out there can put that word like specialist on the back of their
Yes.
on the back of their name. You guys are the real deal. How do we look for an organization like yours?
Well, you want to look at their trucks. If you were in the state of Maryland, you have to have a license. You have to have a tree expert license, and on the sides of the trucks, it should say LTE and then have a number on it. If it doesn't have that on the trucks, do not use the company, because what that company is doing something illegal in the state of Maryland. You want to see credentials like ISA certification, similar to my patch right here.
Okay.
International Society of Arboriculture, they certified certain companies. You can also ask for insurance certificates. If someone can't produce an insurance certificate, then it may not be worth your time to let them do the work for you.
And, a lot of us have been very frustrated with what seems like a slow-moving response to this. What is the timeline for tree removal? And maybe it can help some folks out there who are feeling really frustrated.
Well, unfortunately, because of the overwhelming storm and there's just so much damage, things have to get prioritized. Our company, for instance, is taking care of our repeat clients, and those repeat clients that have damage to their houses, limbs on fences, limbs blocking driveways, limbs blocking just the front doors. Those sorts of things are what we are prioritizing. For instance, today we're coming in and getting rid of this because it's on the lady's house. And then once we get through the storm, and all that storm work for us might be 6 weeks from now, from just these past 3 or 4 days that we've had work, then we're going to come in and take care of the rest of the tree, because the rest of the tree does need some future work to it.
And a lot of people are going to, I think, be really smart now, looking around at our yards, what trees can go, what trees seem old. And the tree you're standing next to, Forrest, has that hole in it, if you will. I thought that was a quaint little thing in Winnie the Pooh series, but that thing can mean you need to get that tree down, right?
Well, it doesn't necessarily mean that. It means that you need to have someone come out and inspect the tree. I don't know if you can get a shot. There's some fungus growing in there, which is a sign of a wood decaying organism, furthering the decay in that hole. Eventually, that hole is going to lead to the point where the tree is a hazard for failure. This tree, there was a limb that was just cut off once upon a time, and that wound from that cut and just never healed properly, and that's why you have that big opening right there.
All right. Now, I don't know if your parents named you Forrest because you were destined to do this, but you seem very good at your job. We appreciate you this morning. I know you're busy.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Okay. That's Forrest Bowen, board certified master arborist.
Good information.
With Woodacre's tree specialist. So.
And I should say that's kind of the theme this morning. We're going to we're going to talk insurance.
The Fox 5 weather app. Look 10 days ahead or hour by hour. View today's video forecast and radar that can pinpoint your neighborhood free at your app store or Android market.